Hashtag Impact invites you in to eavesdrop on raw and honest conversations on creating positive change in the world. I am your host, Regina Larco, and together with guests and hosts from around the globe, we encourage you to get curious about what making an impact means to you. Join the conversation and share your voice at hashtagimpact.com. It doesn't happen every day that I get to meet one of my Hashtag Impact guests in Vienna.
It doesn't happen to me at all. To be reinvited for this it's definitely one of a very defining experience for me, as you care to know more about our story from just super early days. So that's just so meaningful to be here with you in Vienna, and I'm only here because of you for the recommendation to join the HR Insight Summit. So yeah, I'm so much love.
And for anyone listening now, they might recognize her voice, of course, from your time when we spoke last in 2019, last time we met. And now I can tell you, actually, I don't know if you're aware of that, but I regularly survey the listeners of Hashtag Impact, and one of the questions that is on that survey is, who would you like to hear from again? Yeah, so your name comes up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so honored.
So people are listening to the podcast and they want to hear more about how your journey with Own Academy has continued on. And now this has been, 6 years since we spoke the last time. And I was just wondering, inspired by one of the things I found on your website, where you say you can't be who you don't know, how the last 6 years have shaped you a little bit more into who you are today and how you are running Own Academy today.
Yeah, so I guess that quote, I say, you cannot be who you do not know, who you do not see. Because we all need a reference point of what you can become. Because very, very often we are shaped by our surroundings. We're shaped by, the biggest influence, of course, is our families, is our education, and sometimes your own talent may not actually be something that your family is familiar with or your school is familiar with. So you may not realize that you can actually be good at that. So I think that's always been sort of the North Star of what we do at Own Academy, is how do we show young people all the different versions of humans and careers and direction you can be in. So I think I love what I do in the sense I love meeting new people, and I love using Own Academy as a vehicle to really meet just awesome human beings that are passionate in what they do. Because passion is the best teacher. If you're passionate, that energy is transmitted, and young people are so susceptible to energy that it's just the best way to help a young person see their own potential by just realizing that, I can be that, and wow, this person's so awesome, so cool, so kind, so whatever, that I vibe with, right? I mean, young people talk a lot about vibe. Well, it's really that vibe connection. So I think, over the past 6 years, I think I would say we've made more mistakes than we have succeeded. But I would say every mistake is definitely an important mistake to make in order for us to grow. So I think 2019 was right before COVID. So I think COVID definitely took a very different turn because everything went online.
Right.
So that was where I got to experience the online structure, even though I've always been offline as like a philosophy, and I always thought offline, but I was like, you know what, online, let me try. So I think I went into a whole like foray of just trying different online experiences. And then now over COVID, I'm like everything but online. I'm like really realizing that just in person, physical is the most powerful thing for this generation, because they are seeing so much online already. In school, you know, now that we are in this ChatGPT era, everything is online. But I think what young people are really lacking is the offline, the engagement, the hands-on. So I would say that the past 5 years, I have been very focused on working with schools and really trying to implement our programs in schools as a solution to go more towards like systemic change. And I thought that going through schools would be able to be closer to creating that impact and influence. But I was kind of wrong. My assumption was wrong, because I think schools also, of course, went through the whole COVID situation, and schools are a dinosaur of its own kind. So even after COVID, yes, it opened a window slightly about like, oh, how do we think about education now differently? But the moment that COVID ended, I think everything went back to normal, and if anything, like even sometimes a little bit too normal. So I think what I've learned in the past 5 years working with schools across Asia, we really have had a lot of amazing schools that we work with, is that it's just too regulated of a space. And I think for us, we wanted to create more change and more implementation, and schools are just not really prioritizing like real world exposure, earlier career exposure for kids. And if they are, they have very limited time. So what we're doing starting 2025 is actually expanding back into the parent space and really focus on offering holiday camps in the different seasons, like summer, fall, winter, and spring, and really take back control what we were losing when we work with schools, because there will be constraints on budget, on constraints on duration, constraints on like how far we can go with these experiences. There's all these like child safeguarding, which is very important. There's all these like logistics problems. So we realized that we actually were losing control over our own vision, and we need to be more focused on that. So as of this summer, 2025, we actually relaunched back into the holiday camp with families, and that was a huge success because we get to really be direct to our clients, which is the parents, and we get to really do to the full extent of what we believe in, which is very experiential. We take kids to go to different field trips in the camp and experience and learn from different people. It's like very, very highly curated, very programmed. So I think that was sort of a definitely next stage, but I think this year has also been very I would say milestone year as well, because we're able to work with some clients that we were never able to work with before. So for example, we worked with a private bank that allowed us to design like a mini MBA program for their 14 to 17-year-old like second generation client kids, and that was probably the fullest program of vision I've ever been able to design into, and that was awesome. So I think one of my biggest sort of takeaway in the past 6 years, I would say, is that when you start a company, there's always this pressure that you need to scale, that you need to raise money and scale and raise money and scale. And I think I've always felt like, I need to raise money, but I've always in the back of my mind never wanted to raise money, because I fear that the moment that I raise money, I would need to listen to the money that is coming from. And I would not be able to stay true to the vision, and I would need to work for money. And I never wanted to work for money, even though money is important, but I never wanted that to be the reason why I do what I do. I wanted the money to come because I'm doing such a good job and delivering such quality to people. So I think before I used to feel the pressure of needing to raise and needing to grow. But I think now, we're about to celebrate 10 years next year with Own Academy. I think I recognize that I don't need to be a scalable solution, but I want to be a very high quality and exclusive experience for those that believe in what we're doing. So I think I've made that decision very clear this year, and that has kind of allowed us to do things that are more in tune to what I've always believed in, really intimate cohort sizes with young people, working with clients that understood this vision, and I realized I'm a lot more happier. Not feeling like I need to scale because that's what people say you need to do, but actually just being more exclusive and being more I just want to focus on the quality. I want to focus on the craft of what we do at Own Academy, and that has been amazing for us. And I think we have our best year this year so far, and still lots to learn, but at least 10 years on, I think we're finally finding our footing. And I think the holiday space is where we're going to be able to execute the true vision of Own Academy, and hopefully that becomes a stepping stone for the next phase, which I've always been thinking about building my own school. But now I also realize that if I were to build my own school, I would need to fall back into the whole regulations, and I still would lose the creative control and the innovation that we currently have. So I also kind of dropped that thinking a little bit. Rather than building a school, build the best holiday camps and make that sort of what school can be, and use that as more like the role model for the vision of education, but not needing to play in the space of an actual school, because that's what I struggle with rules.
I love how you said that you got back kind of control of your vision. That's really powerful. That resonates a lot. I think there's for a lot of founders that we've spoken with over the years, the hustle culture and the scaling and the bigger is always better. I hear it from a lot of people. You're not the only one saying that actually scaling back and doing things on a smaller but deeper level is actually bringing that impact that you were longing for all along, right? So I congratulate you to that and to 10 years of impactful work. That's amazing.
Thank
you.
You.
Really happy to have seen the becoming of Own Academy as well from the early days, right? And to see you on stage here in Vienna was also a very meaningful moment to witness as well, how you are also leveraging your voice to also inspire others with your vision. Yeah, so keep doing that. I'll keep cheering you on. And what I was hoping to learn from you as well is as these organizations, yours and others, are constantly evolving because of the things maybe we want to do differently, or also because of outside factors that are sometimes forcing us to reinvent or reprogram all our offerings. What kind of mindset has helped you personally as a leader of your organization to stay grounded?
I think one big realization that I had recently was a lot of what I'm doing right now of this sort of a expansion or the redirection of the company was actually my very original idea. And I somehow kind of moved away from that idea because maybe I just was trying to find a more efficient way, more effective way, or it was just so hard to do that one idea. So I find it very interesting that what is actually working was my original idea 10 years ago.
I'm sorry that I'm laughing because I've had this very similar experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think to your point about like, you know, what keeps me kind of grounded, I think it's a realization that I actually know a lot of the answers, but I just somehow didn't trust my own gut enough, and I wanted other people to kind of tell me what they think, because I thought they may have more experiences, they may be older, or like they may know better than me. But I think sometimes when you're the founder, you actually know the answers, and you're a founder for a reason, right? So I think I kind of I feel like I lost a little bit of my belief in myself over the years, because I just wanted to do things better and do things well. And I think sometimes your focus may be distracted because of all these like noises that you have, right? So I think really be able to declutter all the noises and just focus on something more simple and more impactful, I think was what I kind of recently came to just like embrace. And I think for me, because I think there's still so much to learn, there's still so much to grow, and I'm someone that just like loves, I'm just very curious, I want to like
something
do better.
Sweet before the kitchen close?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, so I just realized that the grounding is just a continuous trial and error phase. And I think I had to admit that I just never really found like product market fit, because I was trying so many different things to see what works. And I'm hoping that this redirection, going back to my original idea, is what really going to be the product market fit and the matching, the alignment.
Yeah. We usually hear more about the success stories, and then the things that we see maybe posted or reported on are the things that did work out. But the things that didn't, we all know they exist, right? But it's hard to maybe even, I'm speaking for myself now, even hard to admit it to ourselves. Like, this is, I think, was one of my big learnings over the years, is just to get better and better at failing. Like, there are the things that work out and they're great, but it's true what they always say, that the things that don't work out, they teach you just as much, maybe even more. And to not lose that trust in yourself that, okay, that didn't work out, and I don't have to be embarrassed about that. Not even to myself, right? It's like, okay, you're doing okay. It's I think a constant, I don't know, like re-choosing again and again. Like a decision, a conscious decision of I trust the process, that only by trying all these different things out, I will find that fit, right? That you're talking about.
Yeah. And I think one big realization as well is that I founded Own Academy because I wanted to create a world that I wish I had. And I wish I had that support system growing up. And it was almost like a manifestation of my own wound that I had deep inside me. So Own Academy in many ways is my own therapy. It's my own academy to heal myself. And I think 2025 was actually a very big year for me, because a lot of that wound came from high school days, I would say. And I went back for my 20th high school reunion this year. And I think that cycle finally got closed. That loop got closed. I was able to recover from the wound of that. And then my husband asked me, now that you're healed and Own Academy was your your healing journey, like, so what now? Do you want to continue it on, or do you want to move on to the next chapter? And I had to do some deep reflection about that too. And I realized that there's nothing I'd rather do. And I love what has been created. I love that Own Academy is everything that I've ever dreamt of in terms of the way that I work, the way that what I'm good at, really being able to connect with people and find the most inspiring people to be put in front of children, creating experiences around them, and working with a team of people that are just absolutely amazing across Asia. So yeah, I think now that I'm healed in that kind of like childhood wound, I'm ready to really take Own Academy to the next level and make that, like, imagine like an unwounded warrior, right? Like that would be hopefully a much more, there's so much more to come.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for joining today. If you would like to get your voice heard on #impact, just send a voice note at #impact.com/story. I will include the link in the show notes as well, so you can easily find it. And if you love what you're hearing here, please tell your friends about it too. I talk to you soon. Bye.